Hey friends, this is Alex from Cozy Greenhouse, and I want to continue today talking about some of the new products that doTERRA just released, or one of the new products. But first I want to talk about something that I know is near and dear to a lot of our hearts, a really important issue right now, and that's sustainability. There has been so much talk in the last few weeks and months even about sustainability and climate change and how we can take care of our planet. And it's so important that these conversations are happening, the marches that are happening, the speeches that are being made to lawmakers. I know that these are things that a lot of us care about, and a lot of us feel some anxiety and even fear over the future of things. I know I've experienced that and had a lot of conversations with people who are experiencing that as well. So we're hearing a lot of discussion about climate change and a lot of questions being asked, right? How can we mitigate these changes to the climate? How can we reduce our carbon footprint? What industries do we need to look at? Did you know that the #1 contributor to climate change in our world currently is our agricultural practices and the way that our food sources are grown and dealt with? We produce a lot of food for a lot of people on this planet. And currently, what studies are showing is that the primary way that we can mitigate these changes being made to the climate is by changing our agricultural practices and moving towards a regenerative agricultural model. This is really, really important information. And if this is a topic that interests you, I encourage you to go look at some of the work being done and the conversations being had by Dr. Mark Hyman. There's some really fascinating info there. doTERRA is on one side of the bottle, primarily an agricultural company. You're growing plants in order for them to end up in these bottles as beautiful plant oils. And something that I am so inspired by that's really making a difference right now is the way that doTERRA is empowering people on both sides of the bottle. So empowering the growers, empowering every step of the process before the oil even goes into this bottle, and then empowering afterwards when it's used, when you and I pick up this bottle and use it on ourselves. And so today I want to talk about both sides of that as I talk about black spruce oil. Black spruce oil is grown in the Borneo forest. What's happening in the Borneo forest is that there's a sustainable logging industry that is overseen by the government already. So only a certain amount of trees are allowed to be cut. The way that it's done is a little bit different than a lot of logging is done. But what's happening there is that because the sustainable logging industry already exists there, doTERRA has growers, and they're not, in this instance, they're not really growers. They're producers of this oil because the plant's already grown, they're already cut, and doTERRA is using the byproduct of the sustainable logging industry. So a lot of times what happens is some of these parts of trees, things that the logging industry is not going to take, are just left on the ground, left in the forest. It's not conducive to growing new trees. It can kind of choke out the plants that are wanting to come in and grow, and there's these areas where until those are removed, not a lot's going to grow. doTERRA is going in, removing these plants, and what they've done is they have built a power plant right next to their steam distillation facility. And they're taking those parts of the trees, using it to power the power plant, and then the steam from that power plant is what steam distills the black spruce oil. And then the byproduct of making that oil, the plant parts that are left, goes back into the power plant to continue the loop. So it's a completely closed loop system with a net zero impact. Truly incredible. What's amazing is that doTERRA is doing a lot of things like this all over the world. Back to that, the original discussion about what's causing climate change, what we're seeing is that the primary contributors are things that are depleting the soil of nutrients, right? So pesticides, herbicides, these methods where plants need to be grown, we need to get a ton of plants and we need to get them really fast, and so they're not being harvested necessarily always in prime conditions. doTERRA is changing all of that. They're harvesting plants in their prime conditions from the areas of the world that they are most conducive to being grown in these really incredible ways and creative ways, such as using this byproduct from the sustainable logging industry and having that net zero closed loop system. I would just want to talk quickly about black spruce oil and what this is going to help you with. The primary constituent in black spruce oil is bornyl acetate. It's also really high in alpha-pinene. You can go look both those up. Alpha-pinene is probably one of the most studied plant constituents. If you go type in alpha-pinene into PubMed, you're going to get about 2,500 results of studies that have been done. So it's really been looked at. We know a lot of the benefits. A couple things about black spruce. It inhibits an enzyme, which is what produces melanin and leads to dark spots on your skin. So if you struggle with any kind of dark spots, skin unevenness, discoloration, this is going to be awesome for that. You can mix it with a carrier oil and apply it directly to those spots, or mix it into your moisturizer or other skin products and put it on your face, and reap the benefits from that. Some studies have suggested that bornyl acetate, again, one of the constituents in this, helps support a healthy pregnancy. Alpha-pinene, it helps regulate healthy immune response. It helps provide cellular protection. It helps support healthy joint function. And then emotionally and energetically, this is an incredibly soothing and grounding oil. Think about tree oils connected to the earth, rooted into the earth. We get those grounding effects from this beautiful oil. So it's going to help remove your emotional blocks, help you feel really grounded and stable, help you make decisions from that place of stability so that we can move forward. There's so many hopeful things about this oil, from the way that it's produced and the impact that's having on the environment, to the actual uses to you. And that's what I mean when I say it's empowering people on both sides of the bottle. So how, on a practical daily level, are you going to use this oil? Well, again, if you struggle with any kind of skin discoloration or pigmentation, you can put this oil directly on that. If you struggle with joint pain, you can do a little massage to yourself every night or after you work out. Again, put this in some carrier oil, massage it into your joints. It's going to help with that discomfort. If you are just needing courage or feeling stuck, put a drop of this in your hands, rub them together, and breathe it in. It really smells incredible. I feel like I'm standing in a forest right now just doing that. It's amazing. This oil is going to be helpful for so many things for you. If you need some calming and balancing and stability, try diffusing this. I really love it diffused with either lavender or a couple of the oils from our yoga collection. So either a line or a rise, it pairs beautifully with. So again, this is a really powerful oil. doTERRA as a whole is offering so much hope in these realms of agriculture and sustainability, and helping our planet instead of doing more damage to it, and helping us individually, right? We are a small, like, micro version of everything that's happening around us. And so this is helping to provide homeostasis to us and our bodies, as it does the same thing on a much broader scale to our planet, which is truly incredible. Check out black spruce oil. I know that it's going to help you, and then you getting that oil is going to support a much bigger vision.